Hello everybody, welcome to the second episode of Final Fantasy 1 HD. So we literally just arrived in the kingdom, rescued a princess, fixed a bridge, and now I don't quite know where we're to go next. I did hear, in speaking to different NPCs and stuff, about a town to the east that has pirates. So I'm just going in an easterly direction and hoping for the best. But yeah, again, it's so cool, I think, to be playing a game that I've never ever played before, and to the point where we're fighting a lizard here, and I have no idea, is that strong? Is it weak against magic? Should I be scared? So, as I say, typically when you only have one enemy, it's kind of oh, maybe it's a bit dangerous because, you know, there's only one of them. But we seem to be kind of getting through them fairly okay, adding to our bestiary. And, oh, okay, these look really scary, and the big giant looks bad too. So we might just use some sleep at the moment, and then try and attack these gigas worms and see how we fare. But as I say, really enjoying the game so far. I know there's been a massive break, but I did kind of play other episodes, and I suppose when I'm playing a game that I haven't played before, and it's more of a blind experience, it can kind of be hard for me to kind of think of commentary and stuff to talk about. And all I can kind of say is that the secret behind the scenes is that I wandered an awful lot. I didn't have a clue where I was going, but the actual thrill of oh, I found somewhere, I've progressed a little bit further, I've gotten new spells, I've got new equipment. It is super fun. It has that just, I suppose, complete new sense of discovery, you know? And, it is super nice to have that kind of, I know I've been playing some Baldur's Gate, but, it has that D&D, aspect of, you only have certain spell slots, so, buying items is actually really important, and then, upgrading your equipment is also really important. And, keeping on top of, your spell slots usage and stuff. So, typically, in, let's say, Final Fantasy X, and 10-2, you get potions, but, you're not really using them. They're not that important. Whereas, I'm finding, even, further along into the game, I'm here, oh my god, I need to, have a reserve of, 400 gil or 500 gil just to buy potions, because they're actually just so useful. And then even things like Phoenix Down, or, other status conditions, oh my god, poison has ruined me. That was, a whole episode of me being in this, anyway. You'll catch up later on when we get there, but I just love the fact that the items are an actual valuable commodity that you would actually be considering, okay, no, I actually might need to spend money that I'm getting from battles on items to keep my party alive, because it's not as simple as, oh, I'll just hit a save point, or oh, I'll hit, you know, a warp zone or something like that, where you just get full HP and MP back and stuff like that, and it's no, it's literally survival. And then even when it comes to getting your long rest, it's you need to wait until you get back to the inn and then have the money to afford the inn. But as I say, yeah, just meandering around looking for somewhere to be the next area I have to go to, and just leveling up along the way, getting that sweet money. But as I say, I kind of was well, you know, reality is they've built the bridge for a reason, so the next area must be across the bridge. I kind of at least intuited that. And I know I'm kind of cutting out the battles, because an awful lot of them are just repetitive, and you're not exactly seeing new enemies and stuff. But I am using potions, I am using my cures. Just because I'm succeeding and not getting a game over doesn't mean it's not challenging, you know? But I kind of headed back, had a bit of a heal in Cornelia, and then went back up again. And like that, this is the sort of shit you can just encounter. It's like, oh right, there's 4 of us, but then there's like 9 enemies on screen. Like, what is this? Oh, absolute insanity. And like, only for the fact that I went back and like had a rest and stuff, you know? But what I am loving is that like armor is having like a really big impact, you know? Because like that, you know, Orvein and Faelindel, they're taking like, let's say 10, you know, hit points of damage. While Heyma, who I've literally equipped in heavy armor, like she's only taking 1 or so damage and like avoiding stuff. So I also really like the fact that like in this game equipment really matters as well. Like getting a good piece of equipment literally changes so much for your characters. So like that, like Heyma's getting all the attacks here and she's only taking 1 point of damage in comparison to like Serena, who took like 11, you know what I mean? And what I also like as well is that like the enemies can flee, like that's super fun as well. But as far as I know, like storyline wise, we're trying to like find crystals to like help save the world. But that's kind of all I know. And here we are at a point where I'm kind of realizing, oh okay, I can't use my 2nd level spells to just cast 1st level spells at a higher level. So that was a bit of a D&D lesson that I've learned wrong for this game. So not ideal. But once again, here we have like potions coming in like so clutch. Serena's out of spell slots, so she can just use potions to heal. And they're healing like a good amount of hit points, you know what I mean? So they are valuable. Obviously it's just your spell slots are for really probably when you run out of items. So it's kind of a different balance, I suppose, to what I'm used to in Final Fantasy games, which is where you only use your items when you run out of MP, whereas this one is maybe you only use your MP when you run out of items, kind of a thing. But again, just skyrocketing through levels here. Getting a good amount of gil as well. But I saw a cave there and I kind of was like, no, I noped out of that. I was like, no way, don't want to go there without at least having like a long rest. And it isn't so much a dungeon as a witch's lair. We have like the Fantasia mops self-cleaning. Pump, ouch. We have another red wizard. My eye, my eye. Oh, she keeps walking into things. I can't see a thing without my crystal eye. Who could have stolen it from me? Can you tell me? My eye, my eye. Okay. You're not going to actually tell me where to find it. So that's what I'm kind of discovering a lot about this game as I play it. Is that like, it is just that old school like, go find stuff. We're not giving you a map marker. We're not giving you like an official quest. It's like, if you happen to find an item and you happen to find this place, you can, like, obviously, we must have to look for her crystal eye, give her the crystal eye, and we'll get like a reward or something. But it's just the fact that like, I don't know where to go. Like, you're just getting the authentic blind Let's Play experience. You know what I mean? Just me meandering around the place. But at least I can cut out the random battles. But like, the stress of me being like, if I get too far from Cornelia where I know I can heal, and then I wipe, that's just like game over. So it's like, I know I went up and like that was a dead end, and then as it happens, just to the south was where we needed to go. So, you know, but I found a town, and the people are like, please help us. There's clearly some misgivings in this area. And I had remembered reading about the place that's been taken over by pirates, so we've now learned that there are pirates in the area. And I don't know about you guys, but those 3 look like pirates to me. But I was like, let's just get some items. So if we get in trouble, we can heal up. And again, yeah, like, I know I have 800, but then you're kind of like, yeah, I don't mind spending half my money on potions because they're legitimately so useful and actually needed. Like, who would have thought I would have said, oh, yeah, like, potions are actually like, one of the better items in the game. And I was just checking to make sure, oh, do we have any, like, ways to give our guys some extra armor? And yeah, like, it's so funny, like, the different classes obviously can't wield everything. But I was like, yeah, let's just get gloves and give those to our monk and our thief and our red mage, rather. No, monk. So, with our guys kitted out, we're gonna just wander up here. And again, with it being a blind playthrough, I was like, this could be 2 enemies, this could be those 3 enemies, it could be 12 enemies. Like, who the hell knows with this game and how they like to just throw sprites at you. And I was right, there's now 9 pirates versus our 4 heroes of light. And so, when in doubt and having a lot of enemies, put as many of them to sleep as we can. And yeah, it's so frustrating because I was like, oh, I have 2 second level spells, but I have no second level spells to cast, so I literally might as well have no MP, you know? And again, I was like, I don't know how strong these guys are. This could be really messy. But like, again, Heyma just being an absolute tank. Taking no nonsense and no damage from these thugs. It just goes to show you, like, Heyma took 1 damage and then poor Serena took like 17 by comparison. Like, if Serena got attacked twice by those guys, she would be unconscious and KO'd. So, again, putting Heyma in heavy armor was probably like a really good decision. Because, yeah, like, the other guys aren't in heavy armor, but they're still taking, like, a massive amount of damage, you know? And I'm, like, loving how, when they're leveling up, you're seeing that they're hitting, like, multiple times and stuff. Like, that's really cool. So I like that even though we're not seeing, like, 1, 2, 3 and stuff, it's still just, you're seeing the, like, damage scaling really, really well, you know? And, yeah, give Orvein a little top up. And then, with that, we have defeated the pirates. And this next bit literally, like, blew my mind. We're just like, bam! Goodbye! And he's sorry, and he's going to make no more fuss in the town. Why did you take my ship for your troubles? Can you find it in your heart to forgive an old pirate? So we just got a ship. And so I wandered a bit around the town, and I was like, oh, well, here's some level 2 black magic. And, like, we got a good bit of money from the pirates there. So I'm liking the AoE spells. I kind of was like, yeah, let's get slow, and then temper, like, gives us more strength. So, like, see, kind of like a buff there. And then just to get some more spell slots back, I was like, yeah, let's just spend 50, have a little rest, and we can continue on our merry way in our brand new ship, no less. So I was like, where does one even find a ship? Like, where is it docked? Where is it moored? What do we do? But what I find fascinating is that, like, the HP values are, like, super, like, I suppose high for, like, you know, D&D standards, but, like, really low for Final Fantasy standards. Like, oh my goodness, like, which... And then my question was answered. We have our little ship. And then I was like, oh, I do hope it's not like we've gone on the ship way too early. Because again, this is old school RPG logic. It's like, you could just go somewhere that you're not meant to go to, and it's like, well, you're now party wiped. But it seems to be fairly... okay. Yeah, that's okay. another level up. I mean, why not? And yeah, we're just getting little achievements here, but it's basically just from like collecting enemies in the bestiary and like the codex and stuff. So there's obviously going to have to be like situations where we're going to have to hunt for rare enemies in like certain locations at sea, certain locations on land. So yeah, I'm now eventually learning my lesson. I'm getting out of that old trope of like, no, I saved the spell slots, use the items. But yeah, I'm learning that like Monk is just the very, very strong DPS machine. Like, I think Thief has like the speed, and like Red Mage just has like the mix of like being able to wear armor and being able to cast spells, you know? But again, it's like, I don't know like how long is this game, because I'm kind of like, we're 2 episodes in and we're already having like sea travel. Like most RPGs take like at least 10 hours before it's like you can traverse the sea, you know? So I was a bit taken aback with that, but I am liking the fact that like different like areas have different shops and stuff, and like that you kind of have to plan out your budget and like make your way like from town to town. If you go, oh well, I liked this town because it had this spell, like I'm not sure if they'll have the same spells in other towns, so it's like you might have to backtrack just to get those spells, you know? And another enemy logged into the bestiary there, the Buccaneers. So we have like some little pirates at sea. But again, I just love the heavy armor and the fact that like Heyma is just such a tank. I am curious as to like what type of damage does the monk weapon do, or is it just that your strength is so high, you know? But here we are back to Cornell. So it is like amazing how like all the different areas interconnect, you know? So onward we go, and probably southbound. Like I'm not sure where. Like, here's me. I'm literally traveling aimlessly until I find something. That's legitimately the aim of the game here. But I do like the little squad. I think we're like, we've the bit of magic in Heyma. Well, we've the bit of tanking as well. So like, I do like parties of 4s. I feel like it you know, you can have those different types of combinations, but I do feel like White Mage is essential. Well, having said that, you're using items more than healing, so aside from like fighting undead and stuff with the Dia spell, and like the buffs and stuff. Oh god, 13 damage, jeepers. But yeah, I think the party comp is good. I sometimes wonder, like, what if you had like a fighter or a red mage, you know what I mean? If you had a bunch of just really tanky, high damage people, like, would you have any issues at all, like, you know? But yeah, nearly at level 10, that's pretty awesome, and the money isn't bad too. And then I was like, oh, I can't get through there. Very frustrating. And I was like, there's a dock there, so I'm gonna just try and hop out on this southern continent, see how we fare. And leaving here, I was like, there's nothing up here. And I was like, oh, wolves, I think we fought those basically in the other area. It's just, there was normally like maybe 1 or 2 of those, and like a bunch of the orange wolves. So that's not quite ideal. And our hit points are dangerously low for poor Serena here. I literally was like, okay, no, in case Serena doesn't get to go, at least she has a chance of healing. Faelindel dodging like an absolute champ. Heyma tanking and dodging like an absolute boss. And then Orvein and Serena just topping herself up there. Haha, you tried to flee. There is no fleeing for you, there's only death. And look, oh my god, and we got an item. For the first time ever, we got like an item in loot, oh my goodness. And then we luckily found Elfheim. So another new town. And I have to like help a prince. Okay, you know, we'll just add to the list of like the witch with an eye. And I basically went along and just upgraded the squad. I had like nearly 2,000 gold. We bought some nunchucks. We bought a saber. We bought a dagger. We bought an armlet. We bought a leather cap because I wanted to spend all of my money. I then found the white magic shop and I was like, God damn it, I will never have non-first level spells for poor Serena. And then I was like, where are the level 2 spells? Probably back at that pirate town. I am so frustrated. But we then spent absolutely every last skill we had for a little rest in the inn. And that has been the whirlwind adventure of episode 2. Not sure if I've gotten far, not sure if I've steamrolled bits, but you know, hope you guys are enjoying the series. Chat to you next time, guys.